important to the case. Roanoke, the Lost Colony, is about a group of English people who came to the American continent in the 1500s to begin a new settlement. They all disappeared. Though lots of people have ideas or theories about what might have happened, no one is sure. My dad says no mystery is impossible to solve as long as you have enough clues. This is how the story goes. In the year 1587, England and Spain were at war. A major battleground was the New World. Along the east coast, forts were scattered, the one at Roanoke manned by English soldiers. An early colony of 108 men, complaining about the harsh conditions and lack of supplies, had returned home. They had been poorly prepared for life in the New World and had depended upon the native people for food while treating them badly. There had been frequent fights, and the colonists had accidentally infected the native people with European diseases. A native chief had been slaughtered. This was not a good way to begin a new settlement. New soldiers had arrived at the abandoned fort to hold it until new colonists could arrive. And colonists were sure to come. The lure of gold and farmland were too strong for any complaints to matter. From my notes. The word Roanoke comes from the Roanoke people, an Algonquin tribe that lived in the area. However, the European settlers who felt they had discovered the New World, which consisted of North and South America, also believed they were the land's rightful owners. Without regard for the natives' rights to the land, they considered it part of Virginia and claimed it for their own. Today, that piece of coastline is part of North Carolina. John White was a loyal Englishman and an artist. He was chosen to lead the colony by Sir Walter Raleigh, who had been given the charter to the land in Roanoke by the Queen. White may not have had leadership skills, but he had already been to the New World. He had brought back paintings of the new plants, animals, people. The colonists were chosen by Raleigh and White to build the new community. There were more than 60 men, farmers, craftsmen, assistants. There were close to 20 women, including White's own pregnant daughter, to work in the fields and houses. There were almost a dozen children. From my notes. John White's drawings recorded everything he saw in the New World. White was not a great artist. In one of his paintings, a native woman even had 2 right feet. His work was to serve science, not art. Only some of John White's paintings survived, about 75 originals. 2 native men were also part of White's group. One of them, Manteo, had traveled in the company of the English before. John White hoped they would help the colonists with the local native people. He knew that the earlier colonists had had problems with fights, with diseases, with killings, though he had never told Raleigh. He was sure that with the soldiers already at the fort, and with Manteo to help, he could keep his colonists safe. From my notes. The word Indian was used for the native people of the New World because Christopher Columbus, landing in the Bahamas in 1492, thought he was in India. When the colonists landed on Roanoke Island, they referred to the native people as savages because they did not understand their customs, manner of dress, or culture. Today, Native American, Native people, and Indian are all acceptable, though the native peoples themselves prefer to be known by their individual tribal names. The colonists left Portsmouth on April 26, 1587. They planned to meet with the soldiers, then go to Chesapeake.